Caring about what other people think made me hate people. I did everything I could to become the perfect image of what was most desirable to people. I tried to appear as the most considerate, the most thoughtful, the most self-sacrificing man I could be. But if I'm being honest, I only did that because that was what I thought would bring me the most love and attention from the people around me. Then we watch selfish men get the attention we want from women, have closer relationships and have people turn to them more often. Obsessing over what others think took away all of our opportunities from us growing up. Let me show you what you can do about it. Let's look at this. Human beings evolved in tribes. Being rejected in the past, in the caveman days, you're basically cooked, you're dead. Because you'll be ostracized, sent out of the village, you have no food, no water, and no shelter, and you're probably going to be brutally molested by a grizzly bear. So biologically, social judgment becomes life or death. Psychologist Dr. David Rock created this SCARF model. And this model presents that social threats trigger the same fucking responses as physical threats. When you perceive or imagine that somebody will reject you for something, it's bad shit terrifying, but it's 2025 and you're not going to be exiled. You're not going to be raped by that grizzly bear. We're not used to this modern social structure. What we need to do as ridiculously socially anxious individuals is we need to shift from being perceived to being present. When you're anxious, you basically start to press F5 on the keyboard in Minecraft. You go into third person mode. Every move you make is analyzed and you imagine how others will perceive it. You start to watch yourself, and this is called self-objectification. And if you want to come back to the first person experience quicker, you want to develop more mindfulness. One thing you can try when you find yourself drifting away again is you think about what you're feeling, you think about your senses, Some people will tell you to try wiggling your toes for like 5 seconds and then focusing on it so you can bring your attention back into the current moment. By the way, subscribe or I will brutally molest you. If you find yourself drifting a lot, you lack in the mindfulness skill. And we can upgrade this, we can add skill points to this skill tree. And how we do that is by meditation. As you meditate more and more and your mindfulness skill increases and increases, the speed you're able to press F5 and go back into first person mode will be quicker and quicker. And soon the second you drift, you just snap back. And it'll be absolutely amazing. Something you might fail to realize is that everyone is self-absorbed. People don't have time to think about you. This is also called the spotlight effect, where we severely overestimate how much people notice us. It's almost like another form of narcissism. Who cares if you don't have your hands in the correct position, your posture sucks, or you said something wrong during a presentation? Life goes on. The next time you catch yourself mid-conversation and find that you made a mistake, I want you to try this, alright? Let's say you started too much, you spoke too fast. You notice something about how you communicate that you're not very happy with in the moment, and then you start to drift and watch yourself again. You start to get all anxious and you keep harping over that in the middle of the fucking conversation. Catch yourself when that happens and then really look at the other person. Are they really judging you right now? Do they feel remarkably uncomfortable because you made that mistake? Are they about to start walking away because you made that mistake? No, they aren't. Nothing changed. And as you realize that people aren't exactly immediately reactive to your conversational mistakes, you start to realize that you don't have to have a perfect conversation. You don't have to not make any mistake in order to not chase someone away. You also probably find that you have terrible self-image issues. When you walk into a room filled with people who you care what they think about you, you start to generate incomplete sentences in your head, pointing out the various flaws you could have. You pointed out to your head, my neck is long, my posture sucks, my hands are in weird places, my hair is ugly, where do I look? And then you start trying to optimize the way you walk. You want to look picture perfect. If not, someone is going to think that you're not worth speaking to. What you can try to do right now is you can sit and think about those things, journal about them, spend some time finding the root cause of your insecurities. And what you can do right now that's even better and even faster is to reorient what confidence means to you. Redefine confidence as what you know and tested. Let's say you're struggling with your insecurities and you really over-consider how you walk into the room, how to optimize your posture and the way you swing your arms, which ultimately makes you look like an iron golem. Now how you can do this reorienting what confidence means to you technique is you deliberately walk into that room with dog shit posture. Let's say you think that is what matters. And if you do it again, you realize people still don't give a shit. Maybe they point it out and then they laugh it off. Who gives a shit? Well, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't stretch infinitely into the rest of your life. You don't feel remarkably ashamed of it to the point where you want to hang yourself. Take some of your insecurities to the extreme and then test it. Let's see how people react. And you realize one of two things. Either people don't really give a shit and nobody will ever say anything about it and it has been all in your head this whole time. Or people will give a shit, point it out and laugh, But you realize that the world goes on and them laughing at it, them judging you for it, never really mattered to you that much anyway. And when you build that evidence that nobody really cares, or even if they do, you don't really care that they do, you feel safer, and then you're able to test the boundaries more and more. You're able to express more of yourself a little bit by bit every single day. That's what building resilience looks like. Caring less about what other people think is going to take time. It's going to take a lot of testing. Because this has become a habitual thought, a habitual practice to remind ourselves of our shortcomings and how that will matter a lot in how we interact with people and how much people show us affection. It's ingrained into us, so we have to test the waters and slowly open up from it. And some people can actually benefit a shit ton from flooding. What flooding is in cognitive behavioral therapy is where you just throw yourself into something you imagine to be a terrible outcome, and then you come out of it realizing that it wasn't that bad after all. For example, if you find yourself to be struggling with this to a terrible extent and it's really, really bad and you just want to explode out of it, you can try to do public speaking. Sign up for presentations, put yourself in super shitty situations that will basically be like taking a shotgun shell to the face. You overwhelm yourself with your fear and then you walk out the other side a better person, a changed person. But if you really find yourself struggling to do that, I know making those choices for yourself are not easy at all. You can simply just keep pushing the boundaries. Slowly, it takes a longer time, but it works. You find yourself better and better every day. You got this. I love you. Good luck. It's a better world.